Fanny, I'm eating this hot stuff. Go ahead and drop the introduction, and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm eating.
Welcome everybody to tonight's podcast. Hey Naya, thank you so much for joining us. That look good.
Flaming hot Cheeto balls, and so y'all can see why I'm coughing like that.
Looks good. Thanks everybody for joining us. But before we get into what we're going to be talking about, we're going to have to give a shout out to tonight's sponsors, which is Millie Moon Luxury Diapers for our luxury wiggler waddlers and our luxury toddlers. Shout out to Millie Moon Diapers and use the promo code YOLEAKS to receive 20% off your purchase. Shout out to you, Sissy Helen. Shout out to you, Maddie. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And we cannot forget our other sponsor, which is Tampax Radiant Pads, and use the promo code Yo Radiance to receive 20% off your purchase. And let's give a special shout out for the ever faithful, my favorite, Reverb Nation. Shout out to you, Reverb, and shout out to the Replay Gang and the Cloud Watchers as well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about family.
You ain't go tip your glasses down and say shout out to the haters too.
No, they don't get no attention no more.
Oh
Um,
damn,
no,
damn, no clout tonight. Okay, shout out to everybody in
no.
the chat. Much respect, y'all. We outside with it tonight, man. Y'all can see it's real smooth, real peaceful out here tonight. So we outside in the parking lot with this one tonight.
Nah, they don't get no attention no more. They hate themselves, so we love each other over here, so we keep them where they at. Hey, Miss Brenda, thank you so much for coming.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna
And they try to take a straight bullet. You know, you're supposed to let me introduce Brandon Wender now. Benny, say what's up to Brandon Wender. She just stepped through in the building.
Hey, Miss Brenda.
Now, real quick,
And
hold on. Everybody in the chat, drop those purple hearts for my mom, Mama Helen, aka Didi, who has just been, I mean, a tremendous impact on my life. I'm not gonna lie. Some people will gain like family, through friendship, and it's and it's just that. It's just like, yo, we just like a family. Man, with this woman here, there's a bond that's just like unbreakable. And when I tell y'all, she helps me so much just with the mentality thing. She's always there. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her. Y'all drop the purple hearts in the chat for my mom, please.
also, if you don't know, and if you haven't heard, I'm going to inform you about the orthohantavirus, where it originated from. I'm going to put you up on what the symptoms are. And yeah, guys. Yeah, thank you for putting the disclaimer in the chat. And before I give you updates on that information, I want to let YouTube know I'm not giving out any medical advice. I am not a doctor. Okay. Letting the people know anything that I say before, during, or after this podcast is all alleged.
Can we
Keyword
get more likes, please?
alleged.
Can we get some more likes so the YouTube can push this live stream in front of other viewers? Make sure that y'all double tap the screen or just click on the like button depending on what device you're using. Thank you.
Yes, let's like this video up. We only got one like in here and we got 9 people watching. Let's match it up, y'all. And once again, like I said, I want to let you guys know anything that I say before, during, or after this podcast, it is all alleged. It is not fact. It is all alleged. And it is to entertain, educate, and bring awareness to anyone who may come across this podcast. So, I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat: Naya, Miss Brenda, Helen, um,
Yeah, yeah.
Maddie.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Really appreciate y'all. Y'all know y'all makes a difference when y'all come through and spend a little time with us. So we appreciate y'all.
So, thank you, Sissy Helen, for putting a disclaimer in the chat. Let me know in the chat if any of you guys have heard of the orthohantavirus known as the hantavirus. If you've heard of this, put a thumbs up in the chat. If you haven't, put a thumbs down in the chat. Let me know. Have you heard of it? TSM, have you heard of it? Naya
Absolutely
said,
not.
nope,
I haven't, but
no,
I'm
you
not
have.
surprised because every millennium is something new that we haven't heard. There's this new thing of a virus.
Well, Naya says she hasn't heard of it. Miss Brenda says she hasn't heard of it. TSM hasn't heard of it. Well, I work in healthcare and we always got to be, I'm going to be, Lord, I'm going to be going through some special training for this new virus. So, with that being said, Helen says she's heard of it before. Yes, she heard about it yesterday. Did I tell you about that yesterday, Helen? Or did you hear from somewhere else? Well, nonetheless, I'm going to give you a little awareness on what the orthohantavirus is. It originated from rodents, okay? So, but the how it came to Miss Brenda says, hope you get a better praying. I hope you get better praying for you. Um, yeah, that's what it originated from rodents. And then you probably wondering to yourself, okay, we're talking about rodents. How did it come across humans? Well, going to show you this video. Once again, I want to highlight and say anything I say before, during, or after this podcast is all alleged. It is to only bring you awareness to educate you about the orthohantavirus, better known as the hantavirus. So, with that being said, please pay close attention to the information that has been given to you guys so you can protect yourself as well as your family or anybody you may come across when you leave your home. Also, I want to say that I want to appreciate TSM for giving me this opportunity to share this information with you guys. Um, so let's get into it.
The Hondian is docked off the West African nation of Cape Verde. Officials revoking permission for passengers. Ship set sail from Argentina more than 4 weeks ago, promising its 150 passengers a journey to several exotic places, culminating in Antarctica. Now, passengers are stuck on the ship. Medical investigators believe 3 passengers have died from the hantavirus. 3 other cases are suspected. Hantavirus is a rare respiratory disease that can kill up to 50% of those infected. It's the same illness that killed actor Gene Hackman's wife last year.
This really is a detective story. So they're going to have to figure out, okay, where was the boat? Where were the people? When could they possibly have been infected with rodent droppings or urine or saliva?
The World Health Organization is helping to evacuate passengers that are showing symptoms.
Right now, the World Health Organization is saying there's no big risk to the general public. But of course, you're always going to play it safe. You're going to be as cautious as possible and get as much information as possible.
And Dr. Lepouk says this virus is not like the norovirus, which can rapidly spread on a cruise ship and really wreak havoc. The World Health Organization is working to see if this virus is the strain that can be passed from person to person, Tony. Tom, thank you very much.
Now, with that being said, rumor has it, this is just rumors, this is just alleged, that is not facts. That there are 2 found cases that are currently in the state of Georgia, and those 2 people are currently being treated. With the information that you guys have been given, I know they said, you know, it's not likely that it'll be passed along to humans or whatever the case may be. We've heard this before. So I would just say do your due diligence. I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm just bringing you awareness and giving you the information and for you to do diligence to make sure that when you leave your home that you are protected and that you'll protect your family as well. Um, I want to read to you guys, and this is not giving you guys any medical advice. This is all alleged, not fact, all alleged to bring you awareness, information of this new virus. It says the hantavirus is a genus of virus that includes all hantaviruses that cause diseases in humans. Hantavirus are naturally found primarily in rodents. In general, each hantavirus is carried by one rodent species, and each rodent that carries the hantavirus carries one hantavirus species. So, I'm just going to say, I hope you. Helen said that she still wears a mask till this day. Make sure you wash your hands and everything. That's true. That is very, very true. So, with that being said, when you leave your home or you are in close proximity, whatever the case may be, once again, this is all alleged and it's to bring you information to the new virus. And I hope you guys paid attention to where it was contracted at. I would say do your due diligence to educate yourself um, on this new virus. Um, with this information that you currently got, CSM, what are your thoughts so far?
It's very scary for one. How something could even this is a new thing. This is a new biometric thing, and so it's just scary how we can just jump from one virus to the next. And this is something that's like a virus is a big deal. I don't know if people know this or not, but a virus is a big deal. Like there was actually once I think we was about to go to war and somebody was getting ready to drop like a whole virus, and then the opposite country said, "Well, we gonna drop a virus too," and so both countries agreed that they probably can screw the whole world up doing that, and so just something like that a virus alone is very scary. And we kind of domesticate pets a lot. Rats, even the hamsters. I mean, even our everyday dogs. We forget that dogs was not always a domesticated pet. We had to domesticate them one day, and that's when they became pets. And that's why it's important for people to even just get those every 6 month checkups for their pets and things like that. I see people that like share the spoons with their dogs. I get it and stuff like that, but these diseases could be, these biometrical diseases that's translated through pets to human could be very, because a lot of them they don't even have a cure for. It's still snakes. That if you get bit by this snake, you just gone because they don't have a cure for it yet. That's the scary part, knowing that shit, excuse my lingo, but knowing that something could attack you and now your life is dependent on all of these medications and all these people just to survive. So it's overall a scary thing.
Yeah, it is, especially when those people just went out on a cruise, on a vacation, and encountered something like that. And that in itself,
Fed, the Rebel War that stepped through in the chat. Say what's up to the Rebel War.
welcome in the Rebel War. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I know this is your first time here. Welcome in, and thank you for everybody for welcoming her in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here as well. The world is scary. Yes. So, yeah, TSM, that's some great advice. That's some great insight too, because we all do have had a pet at one point in time in our lives. and stuff,
Hey,
and we just
let me share this quick story with you. And this didn't happen. Like I didn't watch this on like a movie. This was like a real life situation that happened. You remember the guy I told you about, the Caucasian family, Richard and Tanya? They took me under their wing or whatever, and they, brought me to who I am today. Basically, they helped with that. So basically, they had this daughter or whatever, and she had this husky, this dog since it was born. Like she watched her parents' dog birth this dog, and she had it since it was born. And I think one day she had like went swimming or she did something, and so she got like the smallest cut on her hand. I mean, a tiny cut. Didn't even wasn't nothing to go to the hospital get stitches about. I think she like put some grease on it or something like that, and was waiting for it to heal. And the first day she got that cut, her dog, that same dog, was licking her hand. You know how dogs, when they get like a cut or something, they lick their cuts. That's how they heal it. And so her dog licked her cut, and the next day she got sick. She didn't connect it with the dog. Nobody did. She got sick, and she thought it was a regular cold. I just got through swimming. I was in the water. I'm sick. And so day by day go, and finally, Richard and Tanya said we're gonna take her to the hospital and see what's wrong. And so the hospital could not find anything wrong with her. They're like, maybe she's just sick. She'll eventually get over it. Maybe it's a virus. So about a month or two later, her condition got worse. She couldn't even get out of bed. She was very weak. And so they brought in a specialist, and they was like asking her if she had any encounter with pets or anything like that at all. She was just like, no, just that one time when I first got cut, the dog licked my hand. Sure enough, they got a sample from that spot right there, and that dog ended up giving her something, and then she ended up losing her life just from that dog licking her cut one time. Dog had every shot. The dog was caught up with his paperwork. The dog was good. Didn't have any known disease, but somehow whatever got translated through that dog's saliva or whatever he might have ate that day or whatever the case may be, that one lick in her hand with that cut on it ultimately led to her losing her life like 6 months after that dog licked that open wound, and nobody knew it was that until after.
oh wow. My condolences to her and her family. And that's what I'm saying. People, just like he mentioned, you do have to be updated your pets when you have a pet. And TSM know and Helen know my baby, my fur baby just passed away a month ago. It's a month ago. And it was very, very difficult because I had him for like 14 and a half years. That was my baby. And he just recently passed away. And it was very, very difficult for me and my family. It was very, very difficult. But you do have to make sure that your pets, because my dog, only time we really let him out is to go play, of course, and use the bathroom. And I think a lot of times people don't understand that when your dog is out, especially if your dog is or cat or whatever is not on a leash or in an enclosed area and they encounter other animals, it's a possibility that those type of allegedly, I have to say allegedly, that they can come across some type of rodent that can transfer unknown diseases. And so, it's thank you, Miss Brenda. It's you just have to do your due diligence to protect your family at all costs. But with that being said, we're gonna talk about family. Are you ready for this part? Um,
Absolutely, absolutely.
um, family. Ooh, this is a touchy subject, only because for me, and I'm just speaking for me, based on my experience. I did me personally, I make a difference. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't make a difference. Well, I do. And it's just based on experience. Family are people that I identify as people that's been in my life, who's supportive, loving, caring, people I can rely on, depend on, people who I encourage, they encourage me. I might spend time with them on a daily basis. I hear from them. And then the other category is what you call relatives. People that I'm related to by blood. I don't see them, I don't talk to them. We don't have no communication. There's really no relationship. I know who they are, they know who I am. But we're just related by blood. There's no relationship at all. We're just related. Now, I don't know if you guys can relate to any of that, but for me, I feel like people that I call my family are people gonna always be there to support me. These are people I can depend on, rely on when I'm having a good day, a bad day, are supportive. And then you once again you have your relatives. Family discussions only. Keep the chat respectful. Thank you, Sissy. Um, and I think a lot of times people we put our relatives in the wrong category, you know, but sometimes they could be very, very disappointing. Those are the people who really are not attentive to your needs. They tend to be selfish. Um, and I'm just speaking on my experience. They tend to be selfish. They tend to be uncaring. They can they tend to not be supportive. They tend to be people who only think about themselves. They don't really care about too much about people out of their circle, so to speak. Um, and them are the people I put in the relative category. Now, my family, I could call them up and be like, hey, can you bust me open $2? They like, girl, $2. Here's 20. What you mean? That's just an example. I could call family up and be like, tell them about a situation, and they're gonna be like, you know what, you was wrong for that, or I agree with you, and they'll love me enough to tell me the truth. Whereas a relative, they don't want to hear it. They one sided. They don't really care about too much because it's just like they just think about themselves. They just really think about themselves. And I just feel like relatives, they have their favorites. They tend to favor people who only cater to them and their needs. They tend to be people who, if you're outside of their circle, they really don't have too much interest in you at all. Helen, this is a respectful family discussion. Okay. And I'm the first child and I'm the oldest one. Yes, I agree. We all experience this from time to time. Susan, what do you think about? Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said so far?
I agree 100%. Um, I'm in the middle of something like that now, but I'm not in the middle of it. I just kind of, I just kind of had it, you know, I knew it, but I just like it never was confirmed. You know what I'm saying? And I kept telling y'all for a long time, like, yo, I mess with y'all so hard is because like these people don't claim me. You know, I did nothing wrong to none of them. You know, it's not like it was bad blood growing up or nothing like that. And so as of the last live, I think I was letting y'all know like how many times I reached out to my dad, and he just like never responded. And so when I did get a response from him today, and he just flat out said that it my opinion was stupid. Like he just totally said it. Like he didn't. It was no apology. He didn't feel no type of way. It was more so of like, hey, these is my kids, and this is who I'm rocking with, whether you like it or not.
And see, that's them are the type of people that I was saying that you put in a relative category because you're related to them by blood, but they just don't feel they don't have a connection or a bond with people outside of their circle. I've experienced that as well, and I'm pretty sure not Naya mentioned, she said in the chat, she said this is why I'm independent and I don't really ask for much. She said, but my dad's side of the family doesn't even talk to me. And that's what I'm saying. You're
You
related
know,
to them.
and sometimes when it's like that, success, numbers, accomplishments don't mean anything to these people. Um, he clearly see the growth. He clearly see that in this music space, even though he taught me this, that I'm more successful than he is. And you can put all his kids together and and I'm not trying to say this to be cocky or anything. If you could put all them together and the numbers want to still accumulate to what I have generated, um, and just what I have going on now. And so, for those reasons, I try not to let it bother me. And because that would be selfish to the people like my mama Helen, and she like, yo, you got a whole parent right here. What you tripping about? And so I kind of just like, yeah, I feel some type of way, but I think I'm more so like happy that I was able to put some progress behind me. So I can say, rather you like me or not, or rather you mess with my entertainment or music, whatever the case may be, whether you mess with it or not, this is what I've done. And so I'm more so happy to be able to do that. And you know, kind of reverse the role with the children that's in this household. You feel me? So I'm gonna always be what that guy wasn't for me towards these children up in here. So it's a lot of pros that comes with it, and sometimes no matter what God you believe in, sometimes He remove people out of your life for a reason. Sometimes He placed them in your life for a reason.
I absolutely 1000% agree with that. And I just feel like a lot of times people who are related to you feel entitled because you are related to them. And then, I just I just I just reconcile the fact that, that you just have to accept that people really don't rock with you like you think they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, my biggest thing is I cannot stand um a liar. Like, whether it's gonna hurt my feelings or not, I would rather for you to be very forthcoming and respectful enough for me to be like, no, I don't want to do this. No, don't say that. Just be truthful, because it's a lot of adults who are still traumatized by the fact that their parents were not there for them for whatever reason the case may be. And I think a lot of times our relatives play on that, and it causes more damage. And Naya said I did everything on my own without my real dad. Amen to that. Everyone that don't let me down, I have no choice but to look forward in life. That's very, very true. And that's what you have to do. You have to move forward, because when you try to hold on to the things that cause you pain, they're going on with their life. You're still hurting. They're going on with life. And you know, my pastor had said this a while ago. He was like, holding on to unforgiveness is like giving somebody else poison that you have unforgiveness towards, and you expecting for them to hurt. And it's just like, sometimes the hardest thing to do in a person's life is letting them go. And I think because we all have expectations of, this is our mom, our dad, our grandma, our grandpa, our siblings, whoever the person may be. But if that person is causing you so much pain, you have to let them go. You have to. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to love them from afar. It's not that you don't care, that you mean, but you have to love them from afar. Because always remember in life, your peace is too priceless to give away, no matter what.
And another thing I want to say though, you have to respect. I think he have to respect me. He might not like me, but like, 30 years, right? Out of 30 years, me not never receiving anything for you, like none of that, no child support, like none of that, right? For me to pop up and find you, like you didn't find me, I found him. For me to pop up, and I didn't ask this man for nothing. Like I don't feel like he even owe me anything, cause my grandma and my mom did the best they can with me, and so I just feel like he gotta respect the fact that I popped up. Like yo, you rap, I rap now. Let's do it. Let's do something. And so the fact that I'm not asking. Y'all know how the kids show up like years later, like, oh, you owe me a check, and it wasn't even that type of vibe. I'm like, yo, I mess with your music. I know you know I'm creative. You don't want to taught me this space. Let's get together and let's work together. And so just the fact that dude even act like he didn't see none of my music, like y'all see he pop in here, like ain't no way you come on this channel and not see all of this music that I have, like you know what I'm saying? And so and like when I question him about that, his response is he don't know how to find my music. You don't know how to find my music, bro? Like Reverb Nation promote my music on Facebook to anybody that's into like hip hop. Like that's what you do. You do rap over there. So, you seen me. If you ain't see it on one of the ads, you definitely seen it on my Facebook. If not on Facebook, you seen it over here. You come over here to my channel. So, when I did get that lie of a response, I mean, he did the best thing he could do was write me back and say, "Yo, if you think that way, then you're stupid." Like, okay, is it that stupid to like for? I'm your child, bro. Like, you got like 7 kids, and you posting all of their music, bro. Like, is it cause like all of them rapping about the shit they rapping about, and I'm not? Like, I get that, but like, still find it. You know what I'm saying? Go back to from the back, leave me alone. It's like it's plenty of them type of songs you can go to my catalog. And of course, fine. Plenty of them is not on YouTube. Of course, they on Reverb Nation and everywhere else. But yeah, I don't. That this man knows this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no way he doesn't know. So just for those reasons, I just have felt disrespected, and I'm just like, damn, bro. I'm at the same time like you brought me into the world, so I just felt real disrespectful to get that response. Like, damn, my opinion that's stupid. Like, you don't want to talk about it, but And so I guess that was more better than just like another lie, because this is I'm like, bro, at this. And so at that point, I just like I cut it off. I'm like, yo, I got a whole family. It might be on YouTube, but I got a whole family I can call and confide in and rock with. They share me up. I have no complaints. Your one difference of me being shared out by you ain't really gonna, you know what I'm saying? Cause ain't really gonna help me like that. So for those reasons, I had no reason to chill. I'm gonna just go off and make another 7 million views, then come back. Like, yo, you want to work then? So that's all you can do is elevate. You know,
I absolutely agree. Sometimes the best revenge is success. And, sometimes in order for us to get over our past, we have to stay in our present and look forward to our future. I think a lot of times that, sometimes our parents will turn on their own children because of their spouse or relationship what they had with their partners, and the child
bingo,
is just is
bingo.
just a
There you go.
the child is just a casualty of the war. You know what I'm saying? I'm an only child, and it's just like, I don't have any siblings, no biological siblings and anything like that, but it's kind of like you sit and wonder, like, why? It's just the why questions. And but you get to the point to where for me, I can't speak for nobody else. I just got to the point that I don't ask myself why anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I just look at it like they missed out on a great person. I'm a great mom. I graduated from high school. I graduated from college. I have a career. I'm not, um, I've never used drugs. I'm not a drinker. I don't, I'm not, I'm more of a giver than a taker. And I think for me, because I have a big heart, I've come across people who've taken advantage of that. And from that, I've had to learn to set boundaries and have balances because at the end of the day, it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like you love people, but they never love you the way you love them. So it came to a point for me, it's just like you have to really, really be careful who you love and care about because you have to wonder, are you still trying to feed that inner child that was missing from your parent? Because sometimes that happens too. Um, and the thing of it is, for me, when I tell people I love them, I mean it with all my heart. That's not a word that I play with or gamble with. And I think a lot of times, sometimes you can tell a person that they love you and the love that they have for you is not the same. And you know, I would just my advice to you as far as your dad goes is that keep succeeding. Keep succeeding because there's gonna be a point in time in his life where he's gonna
Hold on.
have to reach out to
Far
you.
as far as that man goes, we're not gonna say my dad. We're gonna say as far as that man goes, that rapper goes. Y'all can call him Joe or whatever or that man, but no, he gets no labels over that father title of TSM rapper.
I apologize. That man, he's gonna need you before you need him because truth of the matter is time will make sure that karma will make sure that because when you deliberately hurt people, karma does not discriminate against anybody. And that's what
I'm just
people need.
I want to clarify this up because I don't want nobody thinking, oh, he's whining about this about that. I want people to understand it's a matter of the fact that I reached out to this man and told him like, yo, I'm hurt, bro, because you sent me a link to go to your page, and I get there, bro, and I see each and every one of your kids, like not a few. I see all your kids, and you make this post bragging about your kids' music and that they do music. And I'm looking through the names, and I'm looking for my name because this is what I do, like, and I don't see my name, and so I write him like, yo, you didn't add me in that post. Like we all your kids. And the fact that he told me that if I felt hurt because of that, then that I'm stupid. Like that was my complaint. Like, bro, you don't tell your child that it's stupid because he wants you to acknowledge him. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it was like, oh, he's whining because his dad won't write him a check, or he's whining because his dad won't spend time with him. Man, listen, I got my own problems. I got my own business and own things going on. I was just trying to include him in a circle. You know what I'm saying? And so, so when somebody like Stephanie be like, yo, how is my granddad or something like that, I can acknowledge and be like, oh, well, we just did this together and just did that. You know what I'm saying? And so, that shit hurt when like I said, I don't care. I'm grown now, so I don't really care about this parent thing of not having them in my all that. It's just the fact, like, for you to tell your own blood child that it's stupid that he felt hurt because you know what I'm saying. That was just like for me. That was like, all right, cool. Now I can see where we at, and so that's what I'm hurt behind. So
And that's the thing. When people show you who they are, believe them. You know what I'm saying? Like, as hurtful as it is, for him to say that, that's going to make you stronger. That's going to give you a place of peace because you no longer have to wonder. As hard as hurtful it is, you no longer have to wonder where you stand with him. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have to sit back and watch you elevate and grow and continue to succeed in life. And he can't take credit for it. He can't sit back and say, "Oh, my son, my boy, da 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 da." No, no. You're gonna sit back and watch me elevate and grow, and I'm not gonna have any animosity, no bitterness, no resentment, no anger in my or no unforgiveness in my heart towards you. I'm just not gonna mess with you though. You know what I'm saying? And the same that goes for the other kids. And that's okay. Because if that's how he feels, at least you know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been situations where children, adult children, they don't know where they stand with their parents because there's no communication. There's no, that mother, that father don't even have the strength or the courage to even tell that child, I don't even mess with you. They just don't even speak to them. They don't even acknowledge them. You know what I'm saying? Or they passed away and that child is wondering, did my mom or my dad ever love me? What was wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, just like Helen said, and you can move forward and be happy. And that's true. You could be happy and move forward because he gonna have to sit back and watch that. Because the one thing I do know about you for sure is that you are a very forgiving person. Very forgiving. You know, you forgiving things, I just be like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just who you are. That's just who you are. And because of that, God will continue to bless you. God will continue to
Absolutely,
bless you.
absolutely. I agree. Um, and so I wanted to talk about something else real quick before we get out of here. And I wanted to just touch in with the ladies real quick. Hopefully a few of the younger ones listening and watching, you know, not too long ago, I think when I first started, just when I first started this live, um, there's like this back street behind me where I am right now, and it's just like I guess there's like a shortcut to the back street, and I saw a car drive past, and it had like four guys in it. They hit the brakes, and when they hit the brakes, you heard something, and they closed the door, and after that. I saw a young lady, black young lady. She looked like she was probably like 20, 21. She came walking up this way, but you can hear her screaming at the guys in the car. She came walking this way, and she was like, "Oh my God, I don't even know where I am. Where am I?" And she study was screaming, and her clothes was uh, kind of ripped off and stuff like that. And I just want to let y'all know, like, now I understand y'all be like at this young age where y'all still like to have fun and go out and do this and whatever the case may be, but the world ain't what it is no more. The world isn't what it is no more, and you can't. I was just gonna say if you're gonna go out and do something, do it with your homegirls. But unfortunately, you can't even do that because these women will set you up. That probably because she was screaming, Jessica, Jessica, where the f you at? Jessica probably was the same one that set her up. And so I just want to encourage y'all to stay out these cars from with these. If you ain't talked to that man for like a year and you truly don't know him, you gotta be with somebody. Y'all gotta. That's not safe anymore. It's just not. Like I said, I get it. Y'all be like 20, 21, sometimes 18. Y'all want to go out, do y'all thing, head to this party with your home girl, or go here. Listen, if you can't find something to do in public that's like a bowling alley or movie theaters where there's like other people watching and you know that you're safe and you know that you're in a safe environment, I suggest not to do it. Because what I just saw was pretty scary. And like I say, I'm from the street. I can pretty much tell what happened. If she was with a homegirl that set her up, they gave her something. Whatever they gave her, she was assaulted by them guys. And after she was assaulted, which I could tell from the way her clothes was ripped up, her chest was hanging out, and her pants area by her vagina, that part was ripped. And I was just like, I couldn't. I wanted to get off live and offer to call the police, but she wasn't coherent. She was just kind of like very upset, and it's just like, yo, like I really get it. Y'all have to find y'all some smart, mature people. We can't do the hood thing no more. Like we can't go out with our street friends no more. Keep that. If y'all got street friends, it's cool. Keep that on social media. But like, don't trust these females to go out with none of these dudes at all. I'm telling you, especially in Ohio and in Georgia, don't do it. That's a setup waiting to happen. Like I almost found myself in a couple situations just by associating with people, and it's like you can't do it. I don't care how much you trust them. You can say, "Oh, that's my bitch. I know her for like 6 months, 7 months now. She ain't got no family. She just like me. Listen, your life is way more important, is what I'm telling y'all. So young ladies, if y'all listening, find y'all some great social events to go to, or find somewhere public to do. But as far as if it's more than one guy, it's bad enough to leave with one guy. You know what I'm saying? You know how dangerous one man can be. But it'd be like it was just like four dudes in that car that I just saw, and man, that's just a whole. I don't care if you with your homegirl, and it's three of them, then that's really a bad idea. You got three chicks and you got four dudes. Why is it four dudes here? That should have been a red flag right there. You know what I'm saying? These three chicks might be setting me up or something, and especially if you don't know them and they gotta introduce them. Like, girl, let me introduce you to Tez and Marquand and Jacob now. Like, nah, I don't want to know Tez, Marquand, and Jacob them if I haven't met them on my own. Like, why are you introducing me to them just now? You know, so kind of be on a in an awareness space when y'all doing stuff like this. I feel bad for that young lady. I'm gonna be thinking about that all night, and I just know what happened to her. You know, I back in the day, I had friends that did crazy stuff, that plotted crazy stuff, and I had female friends like that got into situations like that that called me to call the police or text their mama or something like that, and you know, and I can pretty much, like I say, tell what happened. She was assaulted. She was set up and she was assaulted allegedly, but that's scary. She didn't even know where she was at. She popped right up out of these woods. It's just like, oh my God, where am I? Where am I? She was like, Jessica, you bitch. Whoever Jessica was must have set her up or left her. And so that was very scary. These dudes don't care like that. They just trying to get up in your panties, ladies. And once that mission is completed, they don't give no F's no more. Some of them so grimy, they will only want to do it one time. Like, oh, I'm through with you. Like, use a toy or something. Like, they don't even vet, you know. So try to make sure y'all value yourself more than these people doing. Fanny, you got anything?
I agree with that 1000%. And I think a lot of times it goes back into um, the grooming process. A lot of times you could be so desperate to have a friend that you really don't vet these people and that they gain your trust only to manipulate you and put you in dangerous situations. And I don't know this young lady, but if y'all can, if the spirit moves y'all, can y'all put some praying emojis in the chat for her? And before you close your eyes tonight, pray for her, not only for her safety and her well being, but for her peace of mind as well. Because even though the act may be over, for her to have peace and um, I just want to say, thank you for sharing this story because in situations like this, we all need prayer. We all need God's protection because the Bible says when two or three gather in his name, that he shall be in the midst of it. So I just ask that you guys pray for this young lady, not only for her continuous protection, but for her peace of mind as well. Um, So, with that being said, I want to give a special shout out to tonight's sponsors once again. Millie Moon Luxury Diapers for our luxury regular waddlers and our luxury toddlers. Shout out to you, Millie Moon, and use the promo code YOLEAKS so you can receive 20% off your purchase. And shout out once again for Tampax Radiant Pads and use the promo code YORadiance to receive 20% off your purchase as well. And before we close out, we're going to switch gears for just a little bit towards TSM. If you haven't already seen Lollipop, TSM's Lollipop, the remix from his favorite rap artist, go check that out on his channel. And with that being said, TSM, can you let the people know not only what was your inspiration, what was your motivation for the remix of TSM's Lollipop?
The motivation was bouncing off of the previous idea, remaking the Michael Jackson. When I saw the cover, I like the cover, I like the artwork, and I was like, yo, that'd be a dope piece of artwork if it was me holding up my favorite rapper, Lil Wayne. And once I said that, I was like, oh, I done messed up now because now I know I gotta do this. And and shoot, I did it, but I didn't think it'd turn out like that. Like a lot of people like it. Um, and like I say, I knew once I did it, I couldn't it just couldn't be your typical TSM rapper freestyle. Like I knew I can't play with this one. I gotta come, I gotta get the big guns out for this one. And so I did it, and it turned out in my favor. Cause now it's like, man, now I gotta find another Lil Wayne song that I'm gonna do it. I gotta think about it and contemplate on it. Also, we're gonna be dropping some visuals to that. Shout out to you, Fanny, cause I brought you my idea, and you wasn't your typical manager. You wasn't like, yeah, so let's go with that. That's gonna be fire. You was like, nah, nope. Because once you do that, this is how they're gonna perceive it. Once you do that, and you totally shut that idea down. And so had I just put some out like that, yeah, I'm saying, and so I really, really appreciate you for keeping me and my originality roots as an artist, not being afraid to say no.
Because like I told you from the beginning, because I've been asked this question so many times, it's kind of like, okay, how did you become TSM's manager? How did this happen? How did this happen? Would you guys fail to realize I was a supporter just like you guys, still a supporter, but I always believed in him. I believed there had to be more. It had to be something more to just TSM rapper. It had to be something more. It had to be something that just could not be limited to YouTube. It had to be something more to this man than just a rapper. And I was just like, hey, we would talk every day and chit chat. And I was like, have you ever thought about doing this? Have you ever about doing that? And it was just like he was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, well, maybe you should. And I think TSM tell me at first it was a little pushback because he wasn't sure. And it wasn't like he wasn't sure that he couldn't do it. It was kind of like sometimes you could be stuck in a place to where you're comfortable. But then I was like, hey, you need to be doing this, and this. You should be doing this, and this. And then once he trusted the process and he did it, ever since then he hasn't looked back. And that's what you see now. You see the writing, the producing, the editing, the the movies, the short clips. That's what you're seeing now because it's all about somebody believing in you when you don't believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, come on, you gotta do this. You just it's just too much in you. And it's just like the same thing with Helen, other people. It's just like I see it in you, but I can only do so much. Cause if you don't believe, cause I recently reached out, we ain't gonna say no names, but Naya in the chat, you know what I'm saying, trying to push her to do some things, Miss Naya. But it's like,
Yo,
I'm the type of
before we get too much deeper in this, I just want to acknowledge three people who's been helping with shares, who's been helping me out with numbers, and who's just always been part of this journey. Queen, I know who I am. Shout out to her. Shout out to Slim Shell and Didi. They might not drop in the chat, but they always watching in the background, and so shout out to them too. They the background thumbs up. Shout out to them too. And like I said, special shout out to Queen. I know who I am. Y'all make sure that y'all go show her some love tonight on her channel. Let her know, yeah, your brother TSM loves you. Like he brings you up all the time. And so I just wanted to say shout out to them before I forgot. Sometimes I'll be forgetting to give certain shout outs when I don't need to forget, because these be important people. They are great assets of not just TSM entertainment, but just like to have as friends. Or if the TSM entertainment ever was to shut down, these is people that still, you know what I'm saying? That would still encourage me to get back on it and keep doing it and just continue to be a important piece of key factor in my life. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I threw you out there, Naya. But I just wanted to say that. So with that being said, y'all, we at the 55-minute mark. Thank you guys once again for joining us. We appreciate you. Shout out to Reverb Nation. Shout out to the replay gang, all the beautiful people in the chat as well. Thank you so much for being here. And the last but not least, the man of the hour, Mr. TSN Rapper himself. Thank you and shout out to you and everything that you're doing and everything that you will do. And before we close out, TSN, you want to give us a prayer before we leave?
I sure do. It'd be awesome to have mom up top one of these days, so she can give one of her prayers for everybody. And so reach out to mom, Fanny, and see if you can schedule something for her to come up top. I know she's been just kind of keeping her body on track and stuff like that. But whenever she finds some in between time, it'd be good to have her up here. But anyways, let's get into this prayer. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, please bless everyone in this chat and people that couldn't make it to this chat. The people that didn't want to make it to the chat. Bless my enemies, bless my friends, and bless my family. Give us the mindset to keep going, to get up each and every day and put one foot forward and to move in positivity and to continue to move in prosperous lives. And please bless people like we encountered tonight with the young lady. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for spending this hour with me. I really appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.